How many times have we thought about changing things in our home, but when it starts to affect the family budget, we end up giving up? And that happens because for a long time, we were led to believe that improving our home means spending money. But the truth is that many important changes have nothing to do with money. They have to do with perspective, with the way we organize, choose, position, and take care of what we already have. Sometimes a home doesn't need anything new. It just needs to stop carrying excess, clutter, and choices made without intention. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you 10 things you can do to improve your home without spending money, simply by changing small habits and decisions that completely transform the feeling of a space. If you feel that your home could be lighter, more beautiful, and more welcoming, but you think that only happens with money, stay with me until the end, because maybe what's missing isn't investment, but direction. When we talk about changing your home without spending money, one of the first things almost no one considers is simply rearranging the furniture to improve circulation. And it's not about aesthetics, it's about feeling. Sometimes a home seems smaller, heavier, or even slightly uncomfortable, not because there's a lack of space, but because we have to dodge the couch, bump into the table, or walk around chairs. When movement inside the house flows naturally, the house breathes, and that completely changes the way we feel inside it. Another thing that makes a huge difference, and that many people ignore, is hiding what isn't decorative. Not everything needs to be on display. Some objects are useful, but visually they tire the space. When everything is visible at the same time, the eyes never get to rest. And a beautiful home isn't one that has a lot of things. It's one that knows what to show. Hiding is not about denying. It's about organizing visual information. It's about allowing what truly matters to stand out. And this leads to a point that many people underestimate: making better use of the walls. A wall isn't just a place for artwork, and it doesn't always need to be filled. Sometimes using a wall better actually means leaving it empty. Other times, it means aligning what is already there, adjusting heights, and creating coherence. When the wall communicates with the rest of the space, the home feels more thoughtfully designed, more intentional, even without adding anything new. One thing that completely transforms any space is creating a focal point. Every home needs a place where the eyes naturally go when we walk in. When that doesn't exist, the space feels confused and scattered, as if nothing truly matters. A focal point doesn't have to be something new or eye-catching. Often it's already there, just not highlighted. It can be a window, a piece of furniture, an architectural detail, or even a cleaner wall. When the eye finds that point, the home feels more organized, even if nothing has changed except the intention behind it. Another detail that greatly changes how a home is perceived is giving function to forgotten spaces. Everyone has that corner that quietly turned into a storage spot without even noticing. A space that isn't quite a living room, a bedroom, or anything specific. And the problem isn't the space, it's the lack of function. When we decide what that area is for, it stops feeling visually heavy. Sometimes it's simply a matter of defining it. This is a reading corner. This is a support area. This is a passageway. A home responds well when we give things a clear purpose. And speaking of everyday lightness, creating a simple organizing routine makes more of a difference than any new piece of furniture. It's not about perfection or having a magazine-worthy home. It's about not letting clutter build up to the point of exhaustion. Small habits, repeated consistently, keep the home pleasant without extra effort. When a home doesn't demand too much energy to function, it becomes a refuge, not a chore. There is one point that greatly changes how a home is perceived, and almost no one notices it: avoiding the excessive mixing of visible finishes. When every handle is different, every metal has a different color, and each detail reflects a different style, the space becomes visually tiring. It's not that it looks bad, it looks confused. The home starts to feel improvised rather than thoughtfully designed. When we reduce that mix and allow the finishes to complement one another, everything feels more elegant, even without replacing anything. Another powerful change is appreciating what is already beautiful in the home. Every home has something good: beautiful natural light, an interesting floor, a piece of furniture that still works perfectly. The problem is that sometimes these elements get hidden in the middle of excess. When we clear the surroundings, reposition things, and give them space, what was already beautiful begins to stand out, and the home changes without receiving anything new, just attention. It also makes a big difference to remove what no longer represents you. A home holds different phases of our lives, and that's natural. But when we keep things that no longer make sense, the space feels stuck in the past. It's not about discarding everything, it's about choosing what still reflects who you are today. When the home evolves along with us, it feels lighter. And finally, something that seems simple but is essential: taking care of what already exists. A well-maintained home conveys care, even if it is simple. A firm handle, an adjusted door, a neatly arranged fabric. These small details completely change how the space is perceived. Caring is a form of respect for the home and for those who live in it. Changing the look of your home feels good. It feels good because home is the place where we rest, organize ourselves, and reconnect with who we are. When the environment feels heavy, confusing, or tiring, it directly affects our daily lives, even if we don't consciously realize it. For a long time, we were sold the idea that the only way to change a home is by investing money, that improving it means buying, replacing, renovating. And when that doesn't fit into the budget, frustration sets in, along with the feeling that the house will have to stay the way it is. But the truth is, not every season is a season for investing, and that's perfectly fine. There are times when the best investment is simply looking more carefully at what already exists, understanding the space, making more conscious choices, adjusting, caring, appreciating. When we change the way we see our home, its appearance changes too. It becomes lighter, more functional, more aligned with who we are today. And that has nothing to do with money. It has to do with intention. And when the time to invest does come, great. Then we invest with more clarity, without waste, without impulse purchases. But until then, and even afterward, it is absolutely possible to transform your home through simple, accessible, and thoughtful choices. I'm here to show you exactly that. You can do it. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the ideal budget to start taking care of your space and feeling better within it. A warm hug. I'm Marietta Fernandez from Decor Casa. See you in the next video.